Hi and welcome to the Natural Way of Life. This is your 2024 energy themes and energy guidance that I am channeling to you to help you on the journey for this year ahead that we're stepping into, and we may already be feeling some of these energies. Now, it's going to be a universal 8 year. 8. Let's get my little card ready. So I'm going to be looking at it just from intuitively what I feel for this year ahead, but also with the aspect of numerology, which is something that I love and I've been drawn to it for the last couple of years and has helped me on my own healing journey. In simple terms, numerology is just another language that we can use in the universe to connect with source, to understand energies and ourselves and the world in an easier way. So, firstly, as well, on the theme of 8, which is all about manifestation and abundance and setting your intentions, I am doing this Tuesday coming up, which will be Tuesday the 12th of December, 7:30 p.m. UK time. I'm actually going to be doing a live video on my channel all about the new moon and the energies and setting our intentions. So please, you're welcome to come along to that. Let's get into it, guys. I'm a little bit nervous. I wanted to create like a really special, fancy looking video, but then I had to realize, look, Lara, like, you can't be perfect all the time. Perfect doesn't really exist. I'm perfect in this moment and I'm embracing the present moment. And I was stressing myself out over this video and how to best give the information. So I just thought, I'm just going to come on and be myself. And I made a few notes. I'll just show you. I made a couple of notes and I'm just going to go off that, because if I pressure myself too much, it kind of shuts down my flow of energy. Like when I have this, like I just have to come on and share, I have to come on and share. And I've been having that like feeling recently to really, I just need to share some of this energy and guidance because it's going to be so helpful. So firstly, if you are a life path 8, okay, you can message me or email me if you want a bit more guidance on understanding your life path or your purpose, or even in readings, that's where we can go a bit more in depth to that. There are different variations of each number though, so you may just be yes and 8, but I look at the other numbers before that because they will have an effect on you too. That's why even though people can be the same numbers, they can be a bit different. There may be similar themes to them. So yeah, if you're a life path 8, like, let me know in the comments, because you guys are appearing more and more and I'm coming across some crazy connections, which again is an 8 thing. It's all about connecting. So now I relate numbers as well to the energy points in the body, and with doing healing, that's just something that kind of came naturally because we have what many of you may be aware of as chakras, which are the energy portals within the body. Now we have them all over us, but there are kind of like the main 7, 8, 9 that most people are probably most familiar with. So being 8 energy, so also take notes, because if you're a life path 8, this is our third eye chakra. That's one of my main ones. Then we've just been in this year of the crown chakra, which is like here, top of our head. Then we'll be going into the 8 energy, which rests above here. That is also known as your soul star chakra. Not so commonly known, but it's there. And it ties into a lot of the themes. So you life path 8s, that's going to be a huge theme in your lives and in the lives of like those around you. So it's a lot of mind energy. We've had that the last couple of years. We've had universal 6 years, 7 years, now 8. So all I can say with that is like mental health. Firstly, matters of the mind are screaming out to me, and I'm seeing this more and more in people around. People are really struggling mentally more than ever, because I feel like especially from kind of like 2000s onwards for sure, but through like from 2020 onwards, like the world has just totally changed. And I feel like maybe for a lot of people that like how can we call it, like that filter that might have been there before, where we didn't quite see how corrupt and evil and that everything was and crazy, that just kind of got whipped up and exposed, and it's like thrown into something without any like care or support. And I feel like mentally so many people are struggling. It's like, what is their purpose? Why are they here? Like, it's really difficult to manage the energies. And then especially when you're coming up with troubles or difficulties in your life, being in such the higher chakra energy is really hard. So my only advice can really be is like grounding in your physical body, being present, and I guess learning what will be helpful for the year to come, and maybe what the energies we're going through and being through, is finding a mindfulness technique. So whether it's breath work, meditation, actually just taking yourself away from the busyness of everyday life. And something for me which I really struggle with, and I feel like is a strong message I wanted to share, is we have to almost remove the layers and the filters of the world and everything around us. And even now, I'm literally not trying to tell anyone what to do or how to do. I'm just sharing something that's been helpful. So if it resonates with you, great. If it doesn't, that's okay. But I feel like when we have so much influence from other people around us, the radio, the TV, the news, what's on the billboards, what's on the adverts, what's in the shops, like whether it be the food you buy, like the things you listen to, like everything is like put upon, and it's so hard then to figure out. And I know a lot of people on their spiritual journeys are going through this. It's like they're looking to others or another source for answers, whereas actually what's most powerful is the source within you, because we all have, through our higher chakras, we have direct access to source above us. Okay, we all have our own hotline, we all have our own phone, like literally, like I'm just here, like we all have our own line to just call and connect. And I'm gonna do more videos on that, because I feel like that's really been a key thing on my journey, is understanding that. And it's gonna look different for everyone. So for some people like myself, that is like my own, it's very hard to put into words, because it's a connection and experiences, and what's reality for me may not be for someone else. But I know my experiences are unique to me, and my connection and understanding that to a higher power, universe, whatever people want to call it, God. Like maybe some people then are more on the religious side of it, but they're having a belief in an energy and a power of something higher than us, of earth, you know? So that can be tough then when you have all this other influence. It kind of clouds you, and then we have to strip back the layers, because I guess when we come into the world, we're pure, we're untainted, like everything is so much more loving and nice, and then suddenly like the conditioning of life experience of others gets put onto us. That's why, again, with numbers, you could have people with that same life path number, but if they've grown up in different parts of the world, different experiences, different types of families, although some of those themes may be similar, like it's going to be so different. And I mean, obviously that's the beauty, none of us want to be the same, but back to that message of connecting to our connection. It's funny I'm mentioning this connection part, because that's going to be a huge theme for the year to come. It's what is right for you. Don't look outside of you for those answers, because if you really just take the time to give yourself some quiet time to really go within, to remove others, and that's not in a negative way to remove them, but maybe to remove their thoughts and their impressions and their beliefs that they may put onto you, maybe consciously or unconsciously. And what is life? What does it mean to you? What does it mean to connect to spirit? What does it mean to, you know, experience other things that can't be felt or sensed with your normal five senses? What's your sixth sense mean to you? What does spirit mean to you? What does God mean to you? And it's exploring into that. And if you need guidance and help, like, yes, others maybe can come through and help on earth. Maybe it will be channeled through from the universe for you. So, but it's about finding a way to do that feels right to you, and looking more within ourselves for the answers and that guidance. Because I said it over the last couple of years, like I was, like just completely in my own world, keeping myself, you know, keep myself going, but I always went within for my answers. And guess what? And I've learned this over the years, is it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. If that's right for me, and I know in my soul that's right for me, I'm happy with that. So yeah, that's one of my messages I want to really tune in, is just trust yourself and your judgment, and learn to do that. It will be a process. And connecting back with this soul star chakra, a lot of the energy that comes in with that is that eighth chakra. So it's the seat of your soul. So I do feel this year there will be a lot of soul searching, maybe a lot of connection, people getting in tune with their soul, their purpose, connecting us to our higher selves, that the cosmic chakras, that cosmic energy, because that is the portal to those higher realms, of frequency, time, space. It's in those higher realms. But to do that in a safe and effective way, you have still got to be really grounded in your physical body. That's so important. Now, the soul star chakra also holds karmic patterns and lessons, maybe some that you have healed or some that need healing. So that could be a theme again that may come up in your life. I have, through researching a lot of 8s, and even those, some that I know quite personally, some have gone through some really difficult karmic patterns and lessons in their lives that are unfolding. But sometimes, again, having that higher awareness can help us work through and heal some of that. Some people may believe as well that is to do with soul contracts or incarnations, information from other lives, past lives. You may have heard the term like the Akashic records, I'm going to say. That is again related to that chakra. So it's just embodying, the laws of the universe, healing patterns, spiritual compassion, unity, living your soul purpose. That will be a big theme as well. So like I say, a lot of soul searching this year. Even a lot of people may find, again, because we've the last couple of years, the 6, 7 and 8 year we're going into, more people may be approaching onto their spiritual journeys, psychic skills, clairvoyance, mediumship, connecting with source and spirit in whatever kind of way that looks for them, and more love from our hearts for the world and healing. I do think they will be definitely big themes. So another way I think as well for a lot of people, because we have so many layers, not only of conditioning, but then of, I'm going to say, toxins in the environment on us as well. So what can be really helpful to connect us back to our body and to help with your higher chakras is actually sometimes even doing a fast, so a water fast or a juice cleanse, something where you're ridding your body of toxins, drinking a lot of herbal teas, pure natural herbs, and that can really help cleanse the body and bring you back into feeling more like yourself and resetting your gut. Because again, gut, your gut instinct, that's your intuition. And unfortunately, a lot of the food that we're consuming, I can't speak for every country, but especially I think like England and America, a lot of it is so processed and fake and chemical and GMO and just not good for you. And then imagine all of that. It can really weigh you down, and that alone can cause you, so many mental disturbances because it's affecting your gut. That's something to look into. Breath work, as I said, sound healing will be beneficial. Meditation, prayer. I also feel like a symbolic healing as well. So even energy healing can be really powerful, because sometimes it takes, again, because it's a higher chakra, connecting on a higher spiritual level to work through or heal some of those energetic patterns or karmic patterns that may play out in your life that maybe you in your physical body don't feel able to take on your own. Then energy healing could be really powerful for that, because I know from myself when I channel and do that work that it's just so powerful, and it's a power above channeling through you to do what needs to be done. Because sometimes the person might come in and think, this is what I need to work on, but actually it ends up being something completely different where the healing goes, but that's actually what they needed instead. So that's something to look into a little bit more, to give you more on those themes. But mental health, so I think all of us just having more compassion for others. And I do have a belief, and not everyone may agree, but I feel sometimes a lot of people that have these breakdowns or these awakenings or psychosis, or they start hearing things or voices, and they can lose touch from their reality because those higher chakras, that higher energy is just taking over. And I sometimes feel like that is their awakening, like that is the shamanic kind of, that is that awakening, because they actually probably do have that ability to hear and connect with other beings, that sometimes if their energy field is low, and they don't know about, they have their own power to control some of that or choose what they want to or don't want to do. It's a deep topic. I feel like it needs another video. However, I do feel like, it could be quite a big theme. And it's their awakening, because they're awakening and those senses and things are coming in. It doesn't mean they're crazy. It doesn't mean they're so ill or sick. Sometimes it just might be that lower vibrational entities or beings are channeling through them, which are maybe channeling a negative thing or something more distressing. I've been through that myself, like where I've had not good entities or beings, or sometimes just like what I call like rescues, like spirit that hasn't like crossed over. So like we're here, then there's like a lower energy, and then there's the higher energy universe, and they just haven't crossed over to receive their healing. Like they're earthbound, they're stuck on the earth. And sometimes when they see a light in someone, or that ability where that person could communicate to them, even though us as a spiritual being in a human body, we may not be aware of that, they can like come in and like really start like, you know, and then it can take, you have this feeling that something's around you, and it can like make you feel really paranoid. I used to have it in like one side of my room, and like I just didn't want to go in there. This is years ago, by the way. And I just, or there was this TV and I couldn't look at it. I was like, oh my god, it has to be hidden. Like there's just an energy around me. Like I could feel and sense, and I didn't want to be in certain rooms. I was petrified of the dark, like because I knew, like that's the thing, at the time I didn't literally know, but I could sense something around you. Sometimes the negative thoughts or voices could really take over. So through a lot of healing, and obviously connecting with other mediums or people that are further along on their spiritual journey, they were able to help. But ultimately it was me. I had to connect to me and my power to learn I have the power and control to set boundaries. Just like in the physical realm with people, you can set boundaries. And I have my boundaries now, and I've implemented them, and I started working with my spirit team to enforce that, because the way I viewed it is they are the gatekeepers of what happens on the spiritual realms. You know, the unseen, the sixth sense, they are my gatekeepers there. Just like in your house, you might lock your door, you might put on an alarm, or you might have a dog to warn you, oh, something's outside, you know? But in the spiritual realm, that's where you have to, that's your own personal journey to invoke your spirit team. They're there for everyone. It's not unique. It's not me, hey, I'm special, I've got a spirit team. No, we all have access to our own unique ones, depending on what we're here to do. But I always say as advice, just when you do start working that, I need to do more videos on this, I feel, but yeah, make sure it's always for your highest good, even with ancestors and stuff, because they might be okay, but you don't want okay working with you. You want for your highest good only. So yeah, so there's a lot there, but 8 themes. So back to some of these 8 themes: abundance, wealth, manifestation. 8 is that number. I always say when I meet 8, it's like they can be really money orientated. Not to say all, but a lot. Like there will be themes, because they are here to master material wealth in this life. So that can work 2 ways. They may either be at the really top end of that, very wealthy, or they could be someone that's really struggling with like finances, money, debts. It can kind of work both ways. There's not really, if you look at the 8, there's not really much in between. There's that tiny little bit that loops. So they're either like, I think either end of the spectrum, or they may have a very short time somewhere in the middle, but it'll be one of the two, either poor or quite rich or well off. They're themes. So I would say you'll do better though if you have that 8 energy. Even anywhere in your chart, you will always do better if you're working for a higher cause, a cause that is for the greater good of the world, not just egotistical gain. Therefore you will do better if it's for something of a broader cause. It's also big themes in career and leadership. So going forward in this year, like career, leadership, business, that's great opportunities, I feel, for people stepping into that 8 energy. But I do feel as well there will definitely be money and financial themes throughout the year. I know there is always for people generally, but I feel more so than ever in an 8 year, because that is what the 8 energy is symbolic of, an interpretation. So yeah, so if you're an 8, I do feel like this year you will probably feel it more intensely. September also has a lot of 8 energy, so that will be a prime time for you guys. Again, how you experience that, whether that be in the positive vibration of the 8, or I'm going to say the lower energy of the 8, will all depend on your personal journey, where you're at, what lessons you have to learn, or different stages of your life that you're in. So embrace it how you will. But on a broader scheme, so like in the world now, Money and financial themes will definitely be a theme for the year ahead. We're already seeing that play out more than ever, especially since 2020. There's kind of been more of a knock-on effect of that. If we open our eyes and see on a broader level, there has been trying to be a lot of implementation of certain, I'm going to say, changes in money schemes or financial systems. So again, just be mindful of that. I feel like there'll be a lot of business changes as well that on a higher level will then be implemented down into society. So if we look around us at the moment, like in the UK, for instance, shops and things, they're all trying to push down this route of self-serve, self-checkout, like basically taking away the need for a human. Trying to, it's more like card payments, whereas cash is king. But I do feel, how to say, I get the chills as I say this, but I do feel at some point the system, the world, everything will crash because it'll have to be reset. And I'm not agreeing with that, and I don't necessarily think that's right, but maybe that's what humanity needs, because I think so many people are not aware that they've given away their personal power to sometimes a phone, the internet, money in a card. Like, do we even really know what we have on there all the time? And it's taking away, especially for the younger generations. If you look at it, tap, swipe, everything, and it's like there's no, if we really remove ourselves, like, what is money? It's just a form of energy, isn't it? Like, but we all need it to a degree, but it is a form of energy. And I feel like things will have to get stripped back, and it'll be this harsh awakening for humanity that, life skills are actually going to be the most important thing to learn. Survival skills, life skills, because we're going to need them. And skills where you can implement that, because let's say if we didn't have money, however that be, cash or card or whatever, these new systems, there's all this like crypto stuff, and again, it's it only exists through an internet, doesn't it? It only exists in another realm, I'm gonna say. Whereas if we're here in the present physical realm, is that existing? Like, can I touch it? No. So how do we know it exists? Because something again, it's all through the lens of perception. I'm gonna go too deep into it, because when my mind really goes deep into it and you strip back from everything, it's like nothing is anything really real? Like, what is important? Because to me, it all just is so crazy, and like I try not to go into that side of it because it's so unnatural, and it just really takes you away from your core being. And I feel like with all the mental health stress and struggles of these higher chakras anyway for people, some grounding is needed, and go back to basics, because the world will change, and like have skills. So like if everything does collapse, let's just say theoretically at some point, you're gonna need to have some form of like a skill. Like say you're a hairdresser, you can cut someone's hair. They might, I don't know, give you some of their vegetables they grew. Like, it's gonna be a trade, kind of like back in the older times, I should imagine, history, things are more of a trade. Oh, I want to eat beef tonight, but I need some milk from that, swapping stuff, that kind of energy at some point. And be aware, because a lot of these systems will crash at some point, because I even heard it on the radio. I've been saying this to people for years, and I heard it on the radio yesterday, and it was like, people need to be a little bit more reliant on themselves. These systems are like, we're under so many threats from, what did they say? Like hijacking, or like cyber attacks and all this. You know how they put it on all these things. So yeah, be prepared. There may be blackouts, there may be power cuts, the whole networks may go down. They actually did say it on the radio, because I feel like when I tell people, they feel it's too extreme and they don't want to hear it. That's why on my channel I don't necessarily say too much on people, because I prefer to just share more light on stuff. But duality, there is always the both. But those who know me personally, they definitely get the earfalls all the time. And it said, like, go out, buy candles, buy all the matches you can, and buy all the batteries, because when things crash, and and I do believe this is where people will wake up one day and they'll go to their accounts and there'll be nothing, or their money will be lost, I don't know, will they be able to find it again? I just think it will cause absolute chaos for people. So it's just something to be mindful of. I mean, I'm not going to start saying, but you tap into your own, as we were saying, and see how that feels for you, because I've felt that and seen that for a long time. So again, it's like we come to earth and some of us are so caught up on material wealth, material possessions, what we have, and actually maybe that's the experience they've came for in this life, but I just feel like the problem is when we give all of our power to something else, whether that be a person, an object, or a materialistic thing, we leave ourselves then pretty empty and vulnerable if that is just disappeared or taken away from us. It's going to be challenging times. So there's some themes that, yeah, for sure there will be changes in money systems and businesses. And I think, again, in society, it's like the rich are going to become richer and the poor are going to feel poorer, because there's not much middle ground. So I feel like it's either of the spectrum, like people can either do really well, or those who are already struggling and suffering are going to feel that more intensely. And I feel like there's so much of that anyway. And that's why I feel like if you are an 8, you're so best doing something that is going to benefit a greater cause and that you can really help humanity with, because you can have amazing business skills, people skills. All 8s I've met are always so well connected. If you need help with something, or an 8 will find you or direct you to that person. They always know someone or something, But use your energy and your business and leadership skills to help humanity in the best possible way, not in a way that's just for greed or success or, the egotistical things, because then you could be so much more powerful. But also just remembering your personal power and who you give your energies to. So that's kind of my theme, guys. And I think as well, if we look at astrology, things don't tend to kick off, I think, usually until around February, March time astrologically. That's kind of when the new year energies kick in. So as we go into January, I feel January is more, again, just a clear out month, like really looking at what we no longer release, what's no longer serving us, and then moving into that cycle more of the energy. So if you do need help and guidance more, and you want more guidance for the year ahead, please, you can email me. We can look at that for you. But for now, these are just some big themes to sit and think of that are definitely gonna be piling up for the year ahead. As we say, again, if I look at that 8 figure, I wish I had it to show you here. It is all about intention and manifesting, but you can see that little bit of the 8 there. And again, it's the higher chakra versus down on the ground material stuff, isn't it? Business, it's your earthly matters and soul star chakra matters. And just to share with you as well, this manifestation, because 8 is the number of abundance, manifestation should be pretty good manifestors if they're manifesting for the right things. So this card here is indicating a need to acknowledge the power of your mind and your ability to manifest your desires. You're being urged to get familiar with that law of attraction and clarify your wants and needs, for you have entered a powerful cycle of divine manifestation. Provided that your dreams serve the greater good, that's what I was touching on, all of that 8 energy, you will do so much better if everything is for the greater good, as well as intentions, obviously, of your soul. So the universe will assist you in making them come true. So for those of you that doubt yourself, whether you're an 8 or not, like if your intentions are pure and if your soul's highest good and the earth's highest good, trust that the universe will help you make it happen. Don't doubt yourself, okay? And this is for successful manifestation, it does require more than just positive and wishful thinking. You have got to surrender the outcome to the divine and detach from the results. That's a really powerful technique when manifesting. And remember, things work both ways, that law of attraction. So if you're constantly doubting and worrying and having fears, you will block yourself from manifesting. If you're ungrounded and unrooted, and not secure in your physical body, connected to earth and present, you will really struggle. Take it from me, like I struggle I'm a super manifester, but at the same time I can block myself, or I have even been told like you could bring things into your life that are not even meant for you just from the power of the mind. So the mind has got a lot of power over us. So it's learning to work with our mind to recontrol it, put it in the gear that it needs to be in. And yeah, because just monitoring negative thoughts because you don't want to like manifest them versus what you're actually here trying to manifest for your greater good. But just make peace with your life as it is today, be in the present and appreciate what you already have, giving back gratitude as well. I just write that every new moon. I do a gratitude list as well, and you will create the life you've always imagined. You just have to, you know, your thoughts can make your dreams come true. Okay, so use that in a really mindful way. And again, a manifestation. So again, if the 8 energy of this year will really support you manifesting your dreams here. And yeah, just have courage and faith to do it, because you can. We're all here, we're all meant to be here, we are all worthy of being here. There's a reason we're here. So it's just learning to embrace that energy. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this helpful. Please like, comment, share, subscribe if you're not already. And even, yeah, anyone else you think this video may benefit, please share it with them. I hope it's been helpful. Thank you so much.